Welcome to another piano lesson with Warren. My name is Warren Macpherson. Thank you for joining me here today. This is the channel where we discuss gospel music every Wednesday. We talk about gospel licks, runs, passing chords, theory, analysis, scales, and we do this from the beginner level up to the advanced level. And today we're going to look at some more of that stuff. The song that I played in the introduction, Your Grace and Mercy, it's a popular old school gospel song, and I'm going to show you how I able to take the standard song and what I did, what's going on in my mind, what kind of theory and concept I'm using to be able to get it sounding like what I did in the intro. Now, it's important to note that the theory and the analysis is just part of the process. Knowing how to, or understanding what's going on behind the scene and being able to reproduce it yourself are two different things. So this video is to help you understand how I get to this level. What are the decisions I made and what are the theory involved? And then doing it, it's a whole different thing. And I'll give you some tips and tricks how you can get to that level. All right? So I'm playing in the key of C major today. And I'm going to show you the basic chord progression. And then we're going to layer on what's going on till we get to the advanced level. So we have Your Grace and Mercy. That's the one chord to the 4. Brought me through. Back to the 1. I'm living this moment because of you. To the 5. This is bare bone basics. I want to thank you. To the 4. And praise you too. Back to the 1. Then to the 4. Your grace and mercy brought me through. Bare bones basic chord progression. If you're a beginner, like absolute beginner, and you can do this, you can hang through the song. But then I'm going to show you what are some of the things I did to make it interesting. First thing I did, we start to use what I call some reharmonization, mild reharmonization and substitution of the relative minor. And if you're wondering, wait a minute, Warren, what is relative minor? The concept is this. Every major chord has a relative minor chord, and every minor chord has a relative major chord. So for example, if I'm on the key of C major chord, the relative minor for C major is A minor. And the way you find a relative minor is that the relative minor chord is always a minor third below the root note of the chord, of the given chord. So C major, if we go down a minor third, or in other words of thinking of it, 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, and play a minor chord, that's the relative minor relationship right there. So that's just a side note for those who are like, whoa, wait a minute, what's a relative minor? So let's go back to the song. Your grace and mercy to the 4 brought me through. Back to the 1. I'm living this moment right here. We set that up with the relative minor. Instead of staying on the 1, let's go to the 6. So I'm living this moment, relative minor. Then I did right here is what we call a secondary dominant. Because of you. Standard in gospel music. Once we go to that 6, relative minor, we just go to that 2 dominant, and that takes us to 5. Now, because the melody is because of you, It's on that D. I can go 5 and then go back to this D7 to secondary dominant and then come back to the 5. Very standard in gospel. But you want to do that only when you have that melody that falls on both the 5 chord and that 2, the 2 dominant. Let's take it again. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment. Secondary, this chord right here, the minor chord, relative minor, to the 2, because of you. Then I want to thank you, to the 4, and praise you too. Go to the 6 again. Then to the 4, your grace and mercy. 6 again. 5, brought me through. And at the end, you can tag it by just going to the 4 and back. That's it again. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment, to the 6, 2, because of you. Bounce it. And I want to thank you, 4, and praise you too, to the 6. Then your grace and mercy brought me through. So see, we start layering on top of that now. The next thing we're going to do, because we want to get that sort of old school gospel feel, we're going to start utilizing more of our dominant 7th chords. Whenever you want to get that bluesy sound, we use a dominant 7th chord, right? So again, a quick refresher. Take a major chord like that and move the top note down 2 half steps. 1 half step, 2 half steps, and you get a dominant 7th chord. The dominant 7th chords are also derivative sounding chords from the blues scale. So we take C blues, and I'm going to show you how we're going to be using lines from that scale a little bit later. So now we have your grace and mercy. See right there? Your grace and mercy. So make this chord dominant 7. It's going to propel me to 4th. Propel me to the 4. Brought me through. I even made my 4 dominant 7. Now I'm living this moment. Dominant 7. Dominant 7. So when I was going to my 6, I did a walk down. I'm living this moment. 5 in the first inversion to 6. And you see now I'm making my 6 into a minor 7 now. So we start to layer stuff. We're adding 7ths. Just take me to the 2. Because of you. When I get to my 5, dominant 7. Look at this kind of voicing. Rootless voicing for the right hand. Then I want to thank that dominant 7 again. And praise you too. Walk down again to the 4. This time as a dominant 7th. Your grace and mercy mercy. 6, 5. And when you go to that 4, you can go back and play that dominant 7th chord. And notice how I'm just using a lot of rootless voicing here. I'm not trying to crowd that up, you know, because we already got the root down here. Let's take that from the top of what we've done so far. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment because of you. I want to thank you and praise you too. Your grace and mercy brought me through. Good. Now we're going to keep layering. So some of the things I do, I try to harmonize every section of the song. So the pickup, to begin the song, where we go, your grace, and I harmonize that. So the melody is your grace and mercy. So what I did right there is a 2, 5, 1 to take me back to the C chord. So yeah? So this is a minor 9 right here. I'm weaving in that melody to create that minor 9. Then just move up to this chord. It's like just the same C chord as the bass. Move up to that chord. So then you have then you can do, these are just little riffs. Then I do that again. I'm living this. What you see? Turned into a 13th. Simply just by adding in that 5 chord and voicing it like that, you get a 13th. I'm living this moment, then because of you. Now you might say, what's going on in that left hand? You got a little some stuff going on there that sounds good. And I'm just doing moment, little flicks. Walk with that bass. You know? Then we're going to keep layering. We're going to keep layering. I'm going to keep showing you all the stuff that I'm doing. So we start the song again. Your grace and what you can do to create additional colors. And on that 5 chord, we can make it into a flat 13th. So and what that gives it that nice blue note. That E flat until we have the, see that nice flick grace note? Just using these 2 fingers. Okay? To weave that melody in. Your grace and then I can come back and flick that again. So a lot of flicks, a lot of grace notes. And it's the same thing I'm doing. I'm just that. But I'm doing. Then I go again. That's 13. So right here now I get crazy with it. Instead of going back to leaving this moment, instead of doing all of that, my harmonic ears tell me that, you know, I can do a series of passing chords that will drop me right to 6. 6 is my destination. I'm leaving this moment. 6 is my destination. So what I can do there, I'm leaving this moment. Woo. So what I did there, instead of going to 1, I went to C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Now, why am I using this chord? This is the theory right here. Because I'm going to be going this moment. And it takes me to 6. 2, 5, 2, 5, 1. But also it works nicely because the melody fits into the chords. I bend the chords to make the melody fit. See? This more. I'm going more. So from a D flat minor 7 flat 5, G flat 13th, then and B 11th, then, and this is the E7 sharp 5 to my 6. I'm living this moment because of you. Thank All right, I'm running ahead of myself. Let's back it back up to where I do that turnaround chord. I'm living this to doing moment because of you. Bounce. Then I want to thank you. You know that bar already? And praise you to what I'm doing right here is a 3 tritone sub of 3 to 6, then to my 4. Your grace, then I go up to that diminished standard gospel walk and mercy. Brought me through. And that little walk up I'm doing right there, I'm doing. Just take that from the top again. So. then I can do 3, 7, flat 7. These are just reharm chords to 6. Then 4, sharp 4, diminish. 1, same thing again, 6, 2, 5. This turnaround, it's a nice gospel walk. The bass walks from 3. And this right hand just take a first inversion, 1 chord, outer notes, move down chromatically. Then we move down to that chord right there's like a 5/7 without root. Then resolve to a first inversion chord. And that's how you can take the song and make it bluesy. Now I know there was a lot compact into this, you know. So what I would want you to do is to take the MIDI and LMS file that's provided for free. Just click the link in the description and just go and shed the stuff. Look at it, analyze it, you know. Now I'm going to play it out for you, and I'm just going to incorporate some runs, some licks, you know, make it a little more fun. So. Thought I was just ending it on a minor 11th, a minor 7 sharp 11th chord. I probably wouldn't do that in a church setting. I'll just end it at a, you know, a nice dominant 7th chord. Probably something like that. So that is how you can take a simple song with just basic progressions and how you can start to layer it. Again, I know there's a lot compact in this video. I wanted to sort of give you a peek behind the scene to see what goes on in my mind, what am I thinking theoretically. This gets easier over time, but you're not going to be able to master this concept from one video. This is just to give you an idea, some things to play around with, some stuff to go analyze and shed. The MIDI file and LMS file for this video is free and available in the link below. You click that and you can get this to download. If you're wondering what you do with these files, it's basically you use a program like Midiculous, and you can put it in there, the keys play back, and you can slow it down, you can watch the chord. This stuff you have to analyze. At the late intermediate, going to advanced level, you have to start doing a lot more analysis, understanding the why these things work and the sort of sequence that these things take, because it's not by coincidence why I play these chords. Each of these chords were specifically chosen because of where I'm trying to get to, and all of this stuff I've discussed in many theory videos over the past year. So if you like this content and you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, you don't want to miss out. So hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section. Again, this video is just a taste of what's possible when you study under my program and tutelage. So if you want more desired courses that will walk you step by step in more details from beginner to advanced, then you got to head over to pianolessonwithwarren.com and check out my program. This is what I do on a daily basis. I sit and I think about how to create courses and lessons that are strategic, that are sort of formulaic, that you can follow. Because the road from beginner to advanced, it's a treacherous one, meaning that it's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of distractions, a lot of frustrations. And if you're trying to do that alone and you're not succeeding, then it's time to get some help. And I believe I'm your guy, because I think very strategically. I need to know the why and the how behind why I do everything. And that's how it makes sense to me. That's how I'm able to retain this information. Once you understand the why, and then you can see how everything is linked back from beginner. This is not something that is isolated, and once you learn this, you're good. No, everything is connected, right back to the beginner. And this is the sort of service I offer through my program over at pianolessonwithwarren.com. And I'll be doing a lot more of stuff like this, song breakdowns, hymn reharmonization, because it's going to take a few videos for you to start to go, oh, I understand what's going on, and be able to do that in every key. All right, so enough of me blobbing now. Click the link in the description below, download the files, head over to Piano Lesson with Warren, join the membership community of gospel musicians over there. We have great resources. We have a lot of fun. We do live streams, and we just have a blast, and we get better as gospel musicians so we can offer better service in our churches, okay? So until then, what do we say? Keep listening, keep singing, keep practicing, and I will see you next week, same time, same place, for another tutorial, all right? Be well now and have a blessed week.